Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, May the 19th, 2023. Friday, May 19th. Okay, Nick is he's in society, picking up dinner, runs into Victor, and he goes, "Hey, Dad." He goes, "Hey, my boy, you want to sit down." And Nick goes, "No, I'm picking up dinner. Christian and I are having a boys' night." And I looked, I said, "You remember you have a son named Christian? Oh my goodness, right? And you're going to do a night with Christian? That boy, was it his birthday?" Well, wait, what was it special? Because Nick spends zero time with his son named Christian. Mm. So anyway, he talks to Victor. Oh, he's laying in on Nate and Victoria, and oh, how wrong it is. And he doesn't like Nate, and Nate this, Nate that, Nate the other. And he goes, "But you can't be okay with this." And Victor's like, "I like Nate Hastings." He likes Nate, right? And Nick is like, "He is untrustworthy." He goes, "Son, look, bottom line, we've known Nate for a long time. And I think Nate's a fine gentleman." He says, "But and he said, but it's gonna be bad for Newman Enterprises." And Victor says, "Look, you worried about Victoria, your sister seeing Nate and how it could be bad for the company, but you don't have a problem with being with Sally Spectra and what people might say. She's pregnant with your brother's child." you know. And Nick just looks like, oh, don't bring up Sally. He goes, "Nicholas, bottom line, you want to know what my prediction is? Neither relationship, neither Victoria's and Nate will last very long, or you and that Sally Spectra will last very long. Neither one." And Nick goes, "Well, you're wrong there. Sally and I, we're the real deal, whatever." And Victor just looks at him like, "Whatever, son." But he's like, "You know what? I think you need to just stop worrying about your sister's relationship," which is true. Mind your own business, Nick. Mind your own business. Now, sorry, not Sally. Adam is talking to Sharon, because mind you, she's babysitting right there in the coffee house. But it's okay, because look, when you own the place, you can babysit anywhere you want, right? But my whole thing is, what if the baby's fussy? Now I need to take the baby in the back, and need to change some diapers, need to do a lot of things. I would rather be in the comfort of my home babysitting, but yet everybody I know can come in breathing on this new baby. And so Adam is just looking, he's smiling at the baby because it warms her heart. So the funny thing, everybody, and this is going to be something. Somebody's watching Sharon. There was a bottle of wine, strange wine, delivered earlier to her. And she's pretty much asking for, "Hey, she asked Adam, did you send this to me?" She goes, "It didn't have a card." And he goes, "Oh, well, then if it didn't have a card, yeah, I did." And she goes, "Liar, you didn't see." He goes, "No, I didn't, but it's interesting." So she goes, "That's interesting. I don't know who did." So anyway, as she's talking earlier, when she's looking at this wine, like, who sent this to me? I wonder where could this come from? Somebody from the back, and that's what's creepy. Somebody from the back was peeking in, looking at her, right? And I was trying to think back, who has had dealings with Sharon recently that they would be creeping like that. I can't figure it out. If any of you guys let me know, let me know in comment corner, who do you think could have done. I don't see Phyllis doing nothing like that because Phyllis can't stand Sharon. And Phyllis would not reach, wouldn't do that, right? Phyllis is trying to figure out a way to cover her tracks. So that was weird. And so then later, when she was talking to Adam, I think somebody was peeking out, looking again. And I said, okay. Now they're talking and they're smiling at the baby, at baby Aria, and or Ara, no Aria. And Adam says, I don't know if I could do this, Sharon. And as he's saying this, Sally was going to be walking in from the back, but she stops when she hears him talking. And Sharon says, do what? I don't know. She goes, I don't know. It's a little girl. And so Sharon said, Adam, you're a good father. You're a good father to Connor. She goes, but I'm having a girl. Connor's a boy. I know how to be a father to a boy. I said, just don't turn out like me. But a girl, that's different. And she goes, Adam. And so Sally is she steps back a bit because she doesn't want them to see her. But she's listening. And Sharon is encouraging. She goes, look, girl, boy, you're going to love the baby. You're going to naturally know what to do. And so then Sally comes from the back. She goes, I agree. You're going to be a great dad, right? And so Adam just looks at her because, mind you, the last conversation he and Sally had, Sally told him, look, you got to, keep your distance from me. Distance as in stop talking about loving me, wanting to be with me. This baby is all that we have in common. I'm with Nick. And you're making it awkward. So he looks up at Sally and she says some nice words about, yes, he is a good father to Connor. And she knows he's going to be a good father to their baby. And so Adam goes, oh, I got to handle this McCall business. And he's looking at his phone. So he steps away. And Sally's looking in at baby Aria and Sharon. They're talking. And Sharon says, he's a horrible fake texter. Sally goes, I know. So they're talking about babies and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So then Sharon says, hey, listen, Sally, I have to go do something real quick in the back. Can you watch the baby for me? And she's like, sure, absolutely. So Sharon walks in the back where people have been peeking out at her all afternoon. So does she have a back door back there? Or how could somebody really be looking at her from that angle and she doesn't know? She doesn't see him. See, realistically, what's up with that? So anyway, Adam walks from where he was by the booths over to Sally, and they're both looking in and they're talking. And she was saying, Adam, I don't want things to be weird for you. And she goes, I don't want that either, Adam. We have to learn, she goes, how to co-parent and exist, around each other without it being strained or uncomfortable, because the baby will pick up on it, right? So they agree that they're going to work on it. They're going to work on being comfortable with each other. And he says, I will refrain from professing my feelings for you. He goes, it's hard though sometimes, especially with you carrying my child, but you're right. I will work on it. See, he goes, because I don't want this to be strained. And so she goes, you know what? You really sound like you're going to do that. And I believe you. So they're talking and, they're just looking at the baby, and Sharon comes back out and Sally leaves. And then Sharon is talking to Adam, and Adam said, thank you, Sharon. And she goes, well, for what? He says, I know you didn't have anything to do in the back room. You just wanted to give Sally and I a chance to talk. And so she's like, you're welcome, right? You're welcome. So we have Summer. Now Chance comes over after getting Jack's phone call about him being a better detective than Chance, right? Summer's there. And Chance said, do you know what evidence Jack found? And Summer's like, Jack found evidence? She didn't know, because Kyle and Jack didn't tell Summer what they were going to do. So she goes, I have no idea what they could be talking about. But they said it's proof, DNA proof, so whatever. And then Summer gets back to pumping Chance about, she says, oh, I accept the fact that my mother's alive now. And he goes, well, that's a complete 180 from last night. You were adamant that it couldn't be true. She says, well, I accept it now. And he's like, why now? Why so fast? And she said, because I realized my brother would never lie to me like that. He would never lie, And so, now that I'm accepting that my mother's alive, my main thing is, how can we protect her? Because Stark forced her to do it. And I need your help, Chance. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Your mother committed a crime, is on the run, a fugitive, framing somebody else for this crime. And you're going to look at a upstanding detective and say, I need your help. We need to protect her. How was that supposed to work? And like Chance was telling her, wait a minute, it doesn't work like that. And it doesn't work like that. He says, I'm going to follow the evidence. Period. Now, I present all the evidence to the district attorney. Chance is not even the district attorney, he's not going to try the case. He's going to do the investigation, complete the investigation, give the information to Christine, right? And he says, I'm going to go where the evidence leads me, period. Now, if in fact your mother was threatened, if in fact your mother, whatever some are saying, then hopefully there'll be evidence to prove that. But otherwise, she's facing some serious, serious charges. But I can't have my mother go to jail. I can't. We have to prove it. And I'm like, shut up, Summer. You're sounding like an idiot. And Chance pretty much was telling Summer, you know what? You know more than you're letting on. And she goes, what is that supposed to mean? I watched you and your brother conversing and talking. You knew Phyllis was alive before yesterday. She goes, no, Kyle told me. He goes, something's not ringing true here. It just isn't. He says, now it makes more sense to me that you have not known longer than today, because of all the different questions you've been asking me for days now. He may have even said weeks now, or a week now. He says, and I'm putting it all together. He says, and you know what doesn't make sense, Summer? That Phyllis would reach out to your brother and not you. He says, he goes, she would either reach out to both of you, or if she reached out to only one, my gut says it was you, Summer. She reached out to you. And your brother is covering that fact, because the truth is that means you've known for a while that your husband's mother, your mother-in-law, was innocent and in jail, and you said nothing. And she's just standing there. And I'm thinking, ooh, your face is telling a story, Summer. No matter how much of a poker face you're trying, how pouty. Chance, these accusations, why are you trying to interrogate me? I'm thinking, oh, okay, Summer. See, you should have stayed away from him. Stop having him meet you. Stop talking. Stop saying I'm trying to figure out. No, you've told on yourself now, right? Now, she didn't admit anything to Chance, but Chance pretty much had her pegged up and down and told her, And everything he told her about herself was right. So watch, Summer's going to start to try to avoid him. Really, seriously. So we shall see. I mean, next week they got to find Phyllis. Something has to happen because now too many people know, too much is going on. And I just don't see how Phyllis is going to be able to get out of this. For the life of me, I don't know how they're going to do it. Somehow, somewhere, next week, Phyllis needs to wake up, coming out of the shower, drying her hair, and none of it ever happened the way they did it on Dallas, right? That was crazy. How they rewrote history on Dallas. But anyway, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'll be here to do a daily recap whenever they show us what they're gonna show us. So I'll be back next week, back to normal next week. Look, everybody, daily recap lady. Daily recap lady number 1 will be back next week. I'll be back to the black cap. This is all going away. I'll be back to my pictures on the side. Everything will be back to normal. So I will see you then.